Hi educators, in this video we're going to be looking at using Seesaw to blog with students. Seesaw has two major ways to do this, one that's going to share just within your class and another that's going to allow students to share a little bit more publicly but still remain safe. So that's the one thing I love about Seesaw is you can blog and it is safe to use with students. Another thing that I like is we're going to be using the free version only, and we're only going to be using it for a blog. So you don't need to do a whole lot of activity creation or other types of things, although you certainly can. We're going to just look at using that free version again for the blog. You will need to keep in mind there is a limit on the amount of data that can be in there. So if this is something you're using throughout the year, you may just want to think about how best to set that up. We're also going to have the option to link directly through our Google Classroom. So you're going to want your classroom set up ahead of time as well. To get started, we're going to go to seesaw.com or seesaw.me and go ahead and click the sign up for free. Once you're there, you're going to click the I'm a teacher, and the very first time you'll want to go through the teacher sign up, but I strongly suggest you just get that done through Google. So I'm going to click Google, and because this isn't my first time in Seesaw, it's going to automatically take me in, but your first time you may need to allow some permissions in order to get started. So let's head over to our Seesaw page. I've got a couple of sample students so that we can look at what things look like on both sides. I've got some nonsense in there I'm going to get deleted. And I'm going to switch classes. Now, if you don't have any classes in here, you haven't imported your classes, you're going to click Create New Class and Import from Google Classroom. Doing that will bring in all of the students you currently have signed up. And I have this class called NOCS template, and you can see I have quite a few test students available in here. Now we're going to move myself over to the other side, and we're going to take a look at your different features. So for the purpose of our blog, we are going to completely ignore the activities. That's where you create kind of like assignments within Seesaw. We're going to just be using the journal to start with. And this is the blog that is only for the students in our class. Now, as a teacher, I have a giant plus sign up here where I can post work. See, it allows me to try posting as a student, experience how students demonstrate and share learning in Seesaw. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to make my own post as a teacher. I've got a couple of different options, although probably your best three for blogs would be drawing, which gives you text, shapes, the ability to record, whether it be your screen, your webcam, your audio, notes, which are great for blogging. It's just text and it allows you to record audio if you so choose. Or you may have some students, especially at the older grades, who want to ahead of time type up their blog post in a Google Doc or a Google Slide and share that. So there also is the ability to bring in those things directly from Google so that students don't have to do their initial creation in Seesaw. We're going to go ahead and use a note. And as a teacher, I am going to just quickly paste in some text for the purpose of this tutorial. All right, boy, am I a fast writer. I actually copied and pasted from a blog post I wrote back in 2017. So you'll notice once I have that in there and written, I can click the check mark. And I have the option down here to explain and reflect. I can use the voice caption or drawing tools to add more details. I can record down here. So I can record myself reading this aloud. I can further edit this note if I so need to. Click the check mark. And once I'm done, I just click the check mark and I'm ready to go. Now, as a teacher, I can quickly post to all of my students so that it shows up on everyone's journal. This might be my sample blog post that goes out for students so that they can see really what the expectation is in the class. And then I'm going to click the green check mark because this is going to go to all of my students so they can see it. So now on that journal page, all of my students see a post by me. It's available for everyone to read. There's the ability to comment and like, and we're going to take a look at what things look like from that student perspective. So bringing our student down here in the purple window, let's see how that student's page looks. So here is the student's journal. So I am in the student account. I'm on the class journal. And on the class journal, I can see the post from Mrs. Blaze, and I have the ability to comment on it. I can post. It does still require approval from the teacher, so I have the ability to take and look at that. Now, I can't see, I can click through other students here, but I can't see anything from those students. So ultimately, it's the teacher who controls what students can see, and it's also the teacher who approves all the posts. So just keep that in mind. We're safe within Seesaw because the teacher controls what all students can see and how things work through Seesaw. Now, I'm a student. I want to post as a student my own blog post. So I'm going to click the post button, and I'm going to do this through a drawing. And maybe I recently lost some teeth. So I'm switching, I'm writing a blog post as a first grader now. So I lost 2 teeth yesterday, and I'm going to take a picture. Obviously, I didn't lose any teeth, but maybe I put that in here. Maybe I add some recording. Yesterday, I lost 2 teeth, and wow, did it hurt, and it felt funny when my teeth first came out. Okay, so I've added my audio recording, I've got my video, I've got my text here, I'm ready to go. There's my blog post, and I've posted. Now, it's going to tell me in the journal that it's waiting for teacher approval. So no one can see it yet. What the teacher's going to do is we're going to minimize that student, and we're going to look at the teacher end again, see where it says 2 unapproved posts. I can click review. And then I can choose to approve the couple of different things I have here. So first off, I'm approving Instructional Technology posted their blog post, and I can either send it back, delete it, or approve it. I'm going to approve that. And then Instructional Technology also made a comment, and I'm going to approve that. You can approve everything like en masse. So there is a button when you see multiple posts. You don't have to go through each of them, especially if they're just comments, what students are sharing back and forth. So now it shows that I have no unapproved items. I'm going to click back up to my journal. And now on my journal page, I see all of those posts, and I can comment on them as well. Now, if I bring in another student, so we're going to bring in another student here. The student is blue across the top, and this student clicks on their journal page. They can see that Instructional Technology posted. They can see that Mrs. Blaze posted. And if they click Instructional Technology, they can see just the post that the teacher has approved of this student. But if I click Marty, I don't see any posts specifically for Marty. So the reason why they see all these students here is it's a quick way for them to sort through all of those different posts so that they can see only specific peers at once. This can be great when you've got a lot in your stream, but you have multiple posts maybe that you're following by one particular user. You can click on that user so you don't have to scroll through and look for everyone's. So all of this, control blog, within the classroom, keeping it safe. You're doing that blogging through that journal page. You're ignoring the activities. The inbox is there where you can message students if needed or provide class announcements, or you see notifications here. But you don't really have to use that tool or the activities tool. In fact, you can use just the journal. And then you can choose to share these in different ways, or if you want to score them, or if you want to share it with families. A lot of the posts come with individual links, so you have the ability to click share post, and you can share this link in a safe way with someone else if need be. So those are your options in that part. Now let's talk about the little bit larger of a blog. So we're going to switch back to the teacher account. So I'm going to minimize that. I'm in the teacher. I know I'm in the teacher because it says Leah Blaze in the top corner. I'm going to click on Leah Blaze, make sure NOCS template is selected and select the gear. And I'm going to go to account settings. So I'm going to take a look at my account settings here. Actually, that's the wrong place to go. Okay, we're going to go to the settings gear on the other side of the screen. And I'm going to click the little wrench this time. And under the wrench, here's where I'm going to scroll down and I can enable the class blog. So I'm going to click to enable the class blog, and it allows me to publish a selection of student work from Seesaw journals to a public website on the internet. So I'm going to set up my blog. Here's the blog name. I'm just going to call it Mrs. Blaze's Class. And we're going to call this Blaze NOCS1 and hit the over arrow, and then I can choose to enable comments on the blog. All blog comments require approval. So you can decide whether or not you want this turned on. And then you also have the ability to password protect the class blog. So people are going to need this password in order to view the blog. Just keep in mind when you're using this, if anyone were to share that password, those people would be able to see that as well. The other privacy feature I like is it does not show any last names. So while we can see names within our Seesaw class, we can't see last names when we use this public blog. So we'll go ahead and just move forward with that. I'm not going to password protect this at the moment because I'm just using it for this. Here's the link. This is the link I give other people and they can go see my blog. So I get the opportunity to share. Now I want to click the wrench one more time to just show you another way that you might connect or make this a blog that you could then share with families, keeping it safe so it kind of limits what families can see. And that is through the ability to add families. So you have the ability to turn on families access, and this is where families can see all posts in their child's journal. They get notified about new posts. Teachers can message families. We're not really focused on that. What we are focused on is the ability to enable that family access and decide what it is that the family can do. So you have just yet another controlled way that families can see things within Seesaw so that you can share your blog with families, but you're keeping it safe within your class. Now, if I have enabled that blog, I now see the public blog and I can see exactly what's on my public blog. And as a teacher, if I see a post that I'm like, oh, wow, instructional technology did a great job telling me about the teeth she lost yesterday, and I want to add this to our public blog, I click the blog and I click publish to blog. That's it. So I can easily tell if it's published to blog. I can click it again and remove it from the blog at any point. If I head over to my blog, I now see instructionals, post, remember no last names, and that this has been added to our public blog. Using that public blog with families, you probably want to set a password so at least there's that level of protection. And also, when you are blogging in any capacity with students, talking about the importance of what information we share and what information we don't share about ourselves. Blogs can be rather personal, but we still need to be very cognizant about what information we put inside them. If you have any questions or are a little bit nervous about plugging into a blog via Seesaw and want to run through some things, don't hesitate to reach out. As a creator, if you're using Seesaw, I want you to go ahead, set up your Seesaw account, and actually create your first blog post. Maybe you just put this in the journal and you share the link to your post using those 3 dots in the corner, or maybe you actually add this to your public blog page and you share your public blog with me.